Paul Swift here at BikeFit. I have been reading on the forums for some people on the Peloton bike, and their challenges is they don't feel they can get the handlebars close enough. Well, let me just take a look at a little differently. There's something you may be able to do. Number one, just about everybody on the Peloton bike is not as far forward as maybe an ideal bike fit position should be. So, number one, just take this little slider and move it all the way forward. Now, some of you are going, that's obvious, I already did that. Good. I just want to make sure the obvious and simple one is out of the way. But the other one is you can actually adjust the saddle on your little clamp here to move the saddle further forward. What I'm going to do is take this off for a little easier to illustrate. I'm going to remove this off, the Peloton seat post, and here's your mount, your saddle 4/2 piece on top of it. Now, one of the things I want you to notice is there's a little bit of distance here in front of this little clamp and behind this clamp. Now, I can't guarantee, but almost all of the bikes I looked at have a little space front and back. Notice this thing tilts. I've already loosened it. So that's a challenge of the seat post as well. And we'll talk about that when we start tightening this back up. But what you want to do is you want to take a wrench. You need a 13 millimeter wrench. It's a good idea to have something kind of like this, and you want to put it on and you want to make sure it fits really nice. Now, I'm pretty sure all the Pelotons are a 13 millimeter. I can't say for maybe year one or year two because historically this clamp before the Peloton bike was offering a 14 millimeter. Just be prepared. It's usually a 13 millimeter. You loosen these up. You want to loosen them up just a little bit. You don't want to loosen them up a lot, and you don't want it to come apart. It's easy to put back together if you kind of know where all the bits and pieces to go. But let's just keep it together. So what you have here is this little space here and here. And what you do when you loosen it is you push the seat further forward. See what I just did there? All right, now you see you have a lot of rail space in the front and very little in the back. So let me hit that back one more time. So your bike, most bikes anyway, are going to come, again, mounted pretty similar to this position. You're going to have a little space in the rear and a little space in the front. Loosen these little nuts here, jam that forward. This is going to get you closer to the handlebars and also going to reduce the seat height a little bit. Almost everybody on the planet, well, pretty much everybody on the planet needs to have this saddle pushed forward all the way anyway, because the Peloton bike, biomechanically, they set it up a little bit too far back, so you're going to push that forward. The one challenge is when you loosen it up, the saddle can tilt, okay? Kind of an interesting way Peloton, they copied the one other big bike in the industry that did this. Doesn't really make sense, but you want to make sure that when you tighten it back up, it's not crooked this way. Now, you may be able to set like a long ruler across it. A level's great, but if you don't have one, if you had a ruler, you'll be able to see whether it's tilted a little bit left or right. So again, loosen these up and then slam this all the way forward. For some of you, you're going to get almost an inch. That may be enough. That may be worth it. I certainly would look at that before, there's like some other bars out there or some adapter that can move the handlebars. I don't know a lot about them yet. I'm going to try and learn more to share about it. It's going to cost money. This doesn't really cost you any money to at least give it a try. For a lot of you, it's going to be enough to get you closer. The thing is, so when you tighten these back up, you got to tighten it really tight, okay? There's these little gnarls on here, and I think I got here we go. This is the clamp that's on there, all right? That holds the seat post together. If you hear it, you can hear the clicks. Okay. Now, if you tighten it up and you get on, it goes, and it drops down. It can wear the little ends of the gnarls out and they get a little bit smoother, and it's a little bit harder to keep it tight. So you really want to wrench on this pretty hard to tighten it up. If it slips, you're probably okay. But if you end up putting it back together and having it slip 2 times, by the time you get to the 3rd time, you might have to go buy a new little piece like this. Probably the easiest would be just to go to the bike shop and do it. Might be a little more challenging on the phone for Peloton if they sell this piece separately. Nothing against them. I'm just trying to say what's easier. And you got to be careful when you buy this new piece. It's often a 14 millimeter at the store. Now, some of those are changing to a 13 millimeter as well. So remember, take this, slide it all the way forward. You'll get closer to the handlebars. I hope this is helpful for some of you. If you have any other questions, I'd be glad to ask. My name is Paul Swift. I'm with BikeFit. Have a great day and a great ride.